Hey everyone, it's Frank, and today we're diving into some crucial questions for the Massachusetts Class M Permit Test Study Guide. Mastering these points is essential for safely hitting the road on two wheels in the Bay State. Let's get started. What is the minimum age to apply for a Class M learner's permit in Massachusetts? 16 years old. At 16, you can begin the journey to becoming a licensed motorcyclist. All right, what's next? When riding a motorcycle, what is the best strategy for dealing with sudden gusts of wind? Lean into the wind and adjust your speed. Leaning helps counteract the force of the wind, maintaining your balance. Moving on. In Massachusetts, what is the primary restriction for a motorcycle permit holder regarding passengers? You are not permitted to carry passengers. Permit holders must ride solo to focus solely on developing their riding skills. So, what's next? What is a significant risk when riding over metal bridge gratings or expansion joints? They can cause a loss of traction. These surfaces offer less grip, so approach them with caution. Next on our list, what is hydroplaning for a motorcycle and how should you react? When tires ride on a film of water, ease off the throttle, avoid braking, and steer straight. This allows your tires to regain contact with the road. Okay, what's after this? What is the recommended hand position on the handlebars for proper control? Both hands gripping the handlebars firmly. A firm grip allows for precise steering and control inputs. Let's move on. When carrying cargo on a motorcycle, what is a crucial safety consideration? Secure the cargo to prevent shifting and ensure it does not interfere with control. Unsecured cargo can throw off your balance or get caught in the wheels. What about this next one? What is the passing score for the Massachusetts Class M permit test? 18 out of 25 questions correct. You need to demonstrate a solid understanding of motorcycle laws and safe riding practices. On to the next question. What should you do if your motorcycle's throttle gets stuck while riding? Twist the throttle back and forth forcefully, then hit the kill switch or pull in the clutch and brake. This quickly cuts power to the engine and allows you to stop safely. Moving forward, why is it important for motorcyclists to adjust their lane position? To increase visibility to other drivers and avoid hazards. Smart lane positioning can make you more noticeable and keep you out of trouble. Let's consider the next one. What is the mandatory safety equipment for both motorcycle operators and passengers in Massachusetts? A DOT compliant helmet. Helmets are legally required and offer crucial protection. And the next point. What is a common cause of motorcycle crashes involving other vehicles? Other drivers failing to see the motorcycle. Motorcyclists are often overlooked by car drivers. What's next? When approaching an intersection, where should a motorcyclist typically position themselves in the lane to be seen? In one of the three lane positions that offers the best visibility to and from other traffic. Being seen is paramount at intersections. Moving on to this. What is the danger of wearing loose clothing while riding a motorcycle? It can flap in the wind and interfere with control. Loose clothing can be a distraction and even snag on controls. All right, let's see. What should you do if your motorcycle experiences a wobble or weave at higher speeds? Grip the handlebars lightly, ease off the throttle, and shift your weight forward. Resisting the wobble can make it worse. A light grip helps the bike stabilize itself. What's after this? What is the primary purpose of protective clothing, jacket, pants, gloves, boots, for motorcyclists? To reduce injuries in a crash and protect from the elements. Proper gear acts as a second skin in a slide. Next question. In a group ride, what is the recommended formation for motorcyclists? A staggered formation, allowing space between bikes within the lane. This allows each rider a full lane cushion and an escape path. Let's get to this one. How can you increase your visibility to other drivers, especially at night? Wear bright clothing, use your headlight, and use reflective materials. Maximize your chances of being seen. Okay, what's next? What is countersteering and why is it important for motorcyclists? Pressing the handlebar in the direction of the turn to initiate a lean into the turn. Countersteering is the most effective way to turn a motorcycle at speed. Moving on. What is the danger of carrying a passenger on a motorcycle if you're not experienced? It significantly changes the motorcycle's handling and balance. The added weight and higher center of gravity make the bike more difficult to control. So, what's next? What is the function of the friction zone when operating a motorcycle with a manual transmission? the point where the clutch begins to engage the engine's power to the rear wheel. Mastering the friction zone is key to smooth starts and low-speed maneuvers. Next on our list, what should a motorcyclist do when encountering an animal on the road? Reduce speed, be prepared to stop or swerve if necessary, and use the horn if it seems safe. Animals are unpredictable hazards. Okay, what's after this? Why is it important to use both the front and rear brakes for most normal stops? To achieve maximum braking effectiveness and control, using both brakes correctly provides the shortest stopping distance. Let's move on. What is the primary restriction for a motorcycle permit holder regarding operating hours in Massachusetts? You can only operate during daylight hours. Night riding is more challenging and restricted for permit holders. What about this next one? When riding through a turn, what is the proper technique for managing speed and stability? Slow down before the turn, then maintain a steady speed or gradually accelerate through the turn. This keeps the motorcycle stable throughout the curve. On to the next question. What is the minimum required amount of time you must spend taking the Massachusetts Class M permit test? There is no minimum time, but a maximum of 25 minutes. You have a limited window to complete the test. Moving forward, what should you do if your motorcycle's front wheel locks during braking? Release the front brake immediately and reapply gently. Locking the front wheel almost always leads to a fall. Let's consider the next one. What is the legal implication of refusing a chemical test breathalyzer for alcohol or drugs in Massachusetts? Your license will be immediately suspended. Massachusetts has an implied consent law, meaning refusal carries serious penalties. And the next point. Why are motorcycles often less visible to other drivers, especially cars? They are smaller and can be hidden in blind spots, and drivers may not actively look for them. Motorcyclists must actively work to be seen. What's next? What should you do if your motorcycle's engine seizes, suddenly stops, or locks up? Pull in the clutch immediately, coast to the side of the road, and shift to neutral. This disengages the engine from the rear wheel, allowing you to roll to safety. Moving on to this. What is the primary purpose of a lane position strategy for motorcyclists? To optimize visibility, avoid hazards, and prepare for maneuvers. Your position in the lane is a critical safety tool. All right, let's see. What should you be especially aware of when riding near parked cars? Doors opening suddenly, people stepping out, or cars pulling into traffic. Always anticipate sudden actions from parked vehicles. What's after this? What is the danger of riding too close to the vehicle in front of you? Reduced reaction time and increased risk of rear-end collision. Give yourself plenty of space for braking. Next question. What is the correct procedure for executing a quick stop on a motorcycle? Use both brakes firmly without locking the wheels, keeping the motorcycle upright. This technique maximizes braking power in an emergency. Let's get to this one. What is the primary requirement for a Massachusetts Class M permit holder regarding supervision? Must be accompanied by a licensed motorcycle operator, 21 plus years old, 1+ year experience, on a separate motorcycle or in a car. You need supervision while learning to ride. Okay, what's next? What is the best strategy for dealing with target fixation? Staring at a hazard. Look where you want to go, not at the hazard. Your motorcycle tends to go where your eyes are directed. Moving on. What is the purpose of rocking the bike before a turn or slow maneuver? To feel the balance point and prepare for the lean. It helps you get a feel for the motorcycle's weight and balance. So what's next? How does carrying a passenger affect the motorcycle's handling? It raises the center of gravity and increases the overall weight, affecting balance and braking. Expect a significant change in how the bike responds. Next on our list, what should you do if your tire blows out while riding? Grip the handlebars firmly, ease off the throttle, and apply light, steady brake pressure to the good wheel, then gradually stop. Maintain control and avoid sudden inputs. Okay, what's after this? What is the primary purpose of the Junior Operator Law, JOL, in Massachusetts? To reduce crashes involving young drivers by imposing specific restrictions and penalties. JOL aims to promote safer driving habits for new, young operators. Let's move on. When following another vehicle, what is the minimum safe following distance in ideal conditions? At least a 2-second following distance, increasing in adverse conditions. More space equals more time to react. What about this next one? What does it mean if you are overriding your headlights at night? Your stopping distance is greater than the distance you can see with your headlights. This means you can't stop in time for something you suddenly see. On to the next question. What should you do when passing other vehicles? Maintain a safe distance, signal, check mirrors, blind spots, pass quickly and safely. Pass efficiently to minimize time in another vehicle's blind spot. Moving forward, what is the main reason motorcyclists should avoid riding in another vehicle's blind spot? The other driver may not see you and could change lanes into you. Stay out of blind spots to stay safe. Let's consider the next one. Um, what is the primary danger of driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs? Impaired judgment, coordination, and reaction time, leading to increased crash risk. Never ride impaired. And the next point. When approaching a curve or turn, what is the proper sequence for a motorcyclist? Slow, look, lean, roll, throttle. This sequence ensures smooth and safe cornering. What's next? What should a motorcyclist do when encountering a road hazard like a pothole or railway tracks? Slow down, look for an escape path, and if necessary, rise slightly off the seat. Rising off the seat allows your legs to absorb some impact. Moving on to this. What is the purpose of using your horn as a motorcyclist? To alert others to your presence in situations where they may not see you. Use your horn as a warning device, not an expression of anger. All right, let's see. What is the safest way to carry a passenger on a motorcycle? The passenger should sit behind the driver, hold on to the driver or handholds, and keep their feet on the footrests. Proper passenger positioning is crucial for stability. What's after this? What is the significance of the implied consent law in Massachusetts? By operating a vehicle, you agree to take a chemical test if arrested for OUI. Refusal can lead to immediate license suspension. Next question. What type of braking is generally more effective on a motorcycle in dry conditions? Front brake, but both brakes are needed for maximum effectiveness. The front brake provides most of the stopping power. Let's get to this one. What should you do if your motorcycle begins to skid on a slippery surface? Remain calm, avoid target fixation, ease off the throttle, and steer into the skid. Steering into the skid helps regain control. Okay, what's next? What is the purpose of the Massachusetts Rider Education Program, MREP? To provide formal training for new and experienced riders to improve skills and prepare for the license test. MREP is an excellent way to learn and refine riding techniques. Moving on. What does it mean to scan the road ahead as a motorcyclist? Constantly look for potential hazards, traffic patterns, and escape routes. Active scanning keeps you aware of your surroundings. So what's next? Why is it crucial to check tire pressure before every ride on a motorcycle? Proper tire pressure is critical for handling, stability, and safety. Incorrect tire pressure can severely compromise your ride. And that wraps up our study session for the Massachusetts Class M permit test. Keep practicing these essential concepts and you'll be well on your way to earning your motorcycle license.